morning, boys. Today's lesson is about a fraction of a quantity. A fraction of a quantity is like you have 1/2 of 10 euro, or one or 2/3 of 16 kilograms. All right. So you have a fraction of a quantity. The quantity can be anything, can be money, can be anything. All right, can be money, can be kilograms, can be length, can be anything. All right. Let's start with unit fractions, boys, so that you will understand them, and eventually we move on to the general fractions. Okay. Let's say we want to find 1/2 of something, of a quantity. Let's look at example 1. In example 1 we have there are 8 cakes. Divide the cakes between the two children so that they have the same number each. Okay, so it's like we're saying 1/2, we need to find 1/2 of 8. 1/2 of 8 cakes. Now the best way to do this is 1 for me, 1 for you, 1 for me, 1 for you. We have 8 cakes. How many cakes does each child have? Okay. Each child, if I split them equally between the two children, I end up with 4 for the girl and 4 for the boy. All right. So 1/2 of 8, all right, is 4. I can write it using fraction form, fraction notation. 1/2, 1/2, 1 all over 2 of 8 is equal to 4. Okay. Now we did this by splitting them. I give 1 to the girl, 1 to the boy, and then again 1 to the girl, and then again 1 to the boy, okay? But we can work this out mathematically. Let's show you. I write the 1/2 as it is, okay? Instead of in maths, I write down a multiplication sign, okay? And I write the 8. Now, just like we did in algebra, when we have a diagonal, all right, in fractions, we can simplify the fractions, boys. When we have a diagonal, we can simplify the fractions, all right? I'm going to simplify the fractions diagonally. And since 2 and 8 are multiples of 2, I'm going to divide both by 2. Remember that we have to divide both the numerator, the top number, and the denominator by the same number. Now 8 is on top. It's not a numerator, but it's on top. 2 is at the bottom, okay? So I can simplify them. 2 division by 2 goes 1. 2 division by 2 goes 1. 8 division by 2 is 4. Now, 1 times 4 all over 4 division by 4, okay? We end up like this, boys. Let me write it down. 1 times 4 all over 1. So it is 1 times 4, okay? That is equal to 4, right? So I wrote down the 1/2 as a fraction 1/2. Instead of I wrote down a multiplication sign, 8. We said that we can simplify the 8. You can cancel the 8 with the 2 because one is at the top and the other is at the bottom. They are both multiples of 2, so I cancelled them. I divided them both by 2. I ended up with 1 all over 1 times the 8 became a 4 now. 1 all over 1 is 1. 1 times 4 is equal to 4. Okay? So that is the first one. Now, the note is that when we need to calculate a unit fraction, remember that the first lesson, in our first fractions lessons, we said that unit fractions are 1/2, 1/4, 1/3, 1/7, where the numerator is always 1, okay? Mela to calculate a unit fraction of a quantity, 1/2 of something, 1/4 of something, 1/3 of something, 1/5 of something, we simply divide the quantity by the denominator, okay? The quantity was 4 cakes and we divided by 2, all right? Now, let's do another example. I need to find 1/3 of 12. It's like splitting the 12 into 3 groups and find how much there is in one group, all right? If I look at the above note, all right, To calculate a unit fraction, and 1/3 is a unit fraction, I simply divide the quantity by the denominator. So I simply divide the 12, all right, by 3, okay, because 3 is the denominator, 12 division by 3. Now, there is also a note that we can also cancel the 12 with the 3 because they are both multiples of 3, but we have to write them down as a fraction first. So 1/3 is 1/3, 1 all over 3. Instead of in mathematics, we write times 12. Since 12 is at the top, alright, and 3 is at the bottom, I can cancel them, I can simplify them. They are both, as we said, multiples of 3, so I can divide both by 3. 3 into 3 goes 1, 3 into 12 goes 4. Now I end up with that is equal to 1 all over 1 times 4. 1 all over 1 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. So 1/3 of 12 euro is 4 euro. Okay? Instead of I put down a times multiplication. Okay? The 3 and the 12, one is at the bottom and one is at the top, so I can cancel them, I can simplify them. I simplify, I cancel by 3 because they are both multiples of 3, okay? I end up with 1 all over 1 times 4. 1 all over 1 means 1 whole times 4. 1 times 4 is 4 euro, okay? Now, so up till now we found how to work out a unit fraction. Now let's move on to how to find the general fraction of a quantity. When I say a general fraction, it's like when the numerator now is no longer 1. So I have 2/3, I have 5/6, I have 3/8. Okay. Let's discuss the first example. Finding 2/3 of 6 paint brushes. Alright. Now we know how to find 1/3, so let's look at finding 2/3. First find 1/3. So there are 6 paint brushes. If we divide these six paint brushes into 3 jars, alright, I put one in one and one in the next and one in the next. How many paint brushes will there be in each jar? Okay, if I split them equally into 3 jars, I end up with 2 paint brushes in each. There will be 2 brushes in each jar. If I need to find 2/3, okay, I simply count the total number of brushes in 2 of the jars, alright, because it's 2 out of 3. So there are in all 4 brushes in the 2 jars, okay? So 2/3 of 6 is 4, okay? Let's work it out, alright? Let's read the note and then work out an example. To calculate a general fraction of a quantity, simply divide the quantity by the denominator, as we've done in unit fractions, okay? We first divide the quantity by the denominator, and then we multiply, but then we need to multiply by the numerator, alright? So let's try to work it out. We have 2/3 of 12, Mela. 2/3, instead of I write down a multiplication sign, alright, of 12. Now, as we said before, we can cancel the 3 with the 12 because 12 is on top and 3 is at the bottom, okay? And we can cancel them with 3 since both are multiples of 3. So 3 into 3 goes 1, 3 into 12 goes 4, okay? Now I remain with, boys, 2 all over 1 times 4, alright? 2 all over 1, 2 division by 1, alright? Any number division by 1 is always 2. So 2 times 4, okay, is 8. This is going to be the method, boys, that we're going to be using in the secondary, alright? From now on. So let's explain again. 2/3 of 12, 2/3 of 12, 2/3 times 12. I write times instead of off. Okay, that's the first thing. Then I can cancel the 12 with the 3 because 12 is at the top and 3 is in the bottom. I can cancel them with 3 itself. So 3 division by 3 it's 1. 12 division by 3 it's 4. Okay. Now I remain with 2 all over 1 times 4. 2 all over 1 means 2 wholes. Okay. Times 4. 2 times 4 it's 8. So that's the first one. We've worked it out without any pictures now. Let's work another one, boys. We have 3/4, okay? 3/4 of 20. So instead of off, I'm going to write down a multiplication sign. So 3/4 times 20. Okay. I can divide the top. The 20 is on the top. The 4 is on the bottom. Is at the bottom. So I can split them. So I can cancel them with the 4 itself because both 4 and 20 are multiples of 4. 4 into 4 goes 1. 4 into 20 goes 5. Okay. I remain with 3 all over 1. Three all over 1 times 5 now. 3 all over 1 means 3 wholes. 3 division by 1 is 3 wholes. 3 times 5 is equal to 15. So my answer is 15 euro. Now, boys, I'm just going to discuss another example where you need so let's say that we have number 3. I need to find 3/6 of 22 of 22. So I need to write that as a fraction first. Now 3/6 times 22. Okay, now I have two options. I can cancel with the 3 with the 6 because one is at the top and one is at the bottom, or I can cancel the 6 with the 22, and I prefer, right, cancelling the 3 with the 6. They are both multiples of 3, so 3 into 3 goes 1, 3 into 6 goes 2. Okay, it becomes 1 half of times 22. Now, boys, I can cancel also. The 2 with the 22. Okay, so it becomes I can cancel the 2 with the 22. So 2 into 2, they are both multiples of 2. 2 into 2 goes 1. 2 into 22 goes 11. Okay, I remain with, which is equal to 1 on 1, right, times 11. And 1 on 1 times 11, it's 11 euro, all right? So I can cancel both. Even the fraction itself, I can simplify it obviously, just like we've learned in simplifying a fraction. And I can cancel also diagonally. Since one number is at the top and one number is at the bottom, I can cancel them, okay? With the same number always, okay? So your homework, boys, we're going to be similar to this. I'm going to repeat several times. If you get stuck in the homework, please watch the video several times. The video is going to be there, so you can watch it for how many times you wish. All right, you can pause the video, try to work my examples to try to understand them better, and then move on to the homework. But it's important to practice a lot, especially if you get stuck in the homework before trying the homework itself, all right? So that you will understand them, all right? So that's all for today, boys. Good day and take